So we've been developing this app which is designed to support patients with myeloproliferative neoplasms. It's been being designed for about a year now and has now launched around 6 weeks ago. So I'll just give you a bit of a breakdown about what the app is and what it's designed to do. So it's a patient support tool that's designed to improve the experience of patients with myeloproliferative neoplasms. It's a way that patients can track their condition. So the two main aspects of the app are that it allows patients to record patient-reported outcomes, including the MPN1 Score. So the MPN1 Score is a validated tool that scores the 10 most common symptoms in patients with myeloproliferative neoplasms on a 0 to 10 scale, which provides a total score out of 100. And that allows patients to track their symptom burden over time and allows them to look for features of concerns with their disease and monitor any impacts of treatments to see how that's helping to control symptom burden. The other aspect of the app is that we're also in a cohort of patients providing wearable devices which allow us to track biometrics, such as activity scores, including daily activity, calories, steps, as well as sleep scores, and even more advanced metrics such as oxygen saturation levels, heart rates, etc. And we can see how this ties in with their symptom burden and how it's relating to their disease state at the time. So they're the two main aspects, but the app has a number of other features. So it allows patients to record their treatments, and they can monitor and track set reminders of their treatments at different times to improve adherence to their treatment regimes. We're also using the app as a research tool. So there are three main tiers to the project. So basically the first tier is that patients who sign up at the moment are encouraged to join the research arm of the study, and they're also issued with one of the wearable devices made by a company called Withings, which are FDA approved wearable devices. And so this tier of patients are in the research study and they have their biometric data tracked, and that's the current tier that's open. The second tier of the study is patients who won't be offered a wearable device. Once we don't have any more wearable devices to offer, that tier of patients will just be on the research study, and so we will track their patient-reported outcomes. They'll be able to use all of the other features of the app. And then the final tier of the project is the patients who don't want to be part of a research study, so none of their data will actually be recorded or kept in any way, but they will be able to use the app and all of the functions of the app for monitoring their condition. That arm isn't open yet, but that will be opening shortly in the next few months, hopefully. One of the most unique aspects of the app is the design of the project and the study. So it's a research study that's sponsored by our NHS Trust, but it has a unique design in that patients can be recruited from across the UK. They don't need to actually attend any particular site in person to sign up to the study. It's all done virtually. They can they're issued with a patient information sheet virtually online through the app portal, and then they are also perform informed consent virtually as well. So that means that we can recruit patients from across the whole of the country, perhaps some areas where they may not be able to join studies normally if they're not as well connected in the MPN community. So that's one of the unique aspects, and because of that we've actually had really great interest so far. So the app launched about 6 weeks ago. We now have over 100 patients who've fully onboarded and signed up, including regularly reporting their scores and tracking their biometric data, and we have a significant number of patients who are waiting to join as well. We're having to stagger the recruitment because the onboarding process is fairly intensive. The company that we developed the app with, which is Sanius Health, are providing a lot of support to the patients when they sign up to the app, in terms of how best to utilize the app and how to use the wearable devices and to get the most from it. So because of that, we're staggering the recruitment to make sure that the patients are recruited in a timely fashion and we can get the best outcomes from it. I think just already we've just had a very broad look at the initial data from the early first 20 or 30 patients that we had recruited, and we can already see some really interesting things. So we're looking at the correlation between the symptom burden and things like their biometric data, and we can see some interesting signals already in terms of that. And once we get a greater cohort of patients signed up, it'll be really interesting to see in more detail what the specific trends are with regards to treatments and comparing different disease groups. So it'll be a really unique tool to track and get real-world insights and real-world data. So that's from the research side, but from the patient side, I've had really good promising reports from patients already that have told me that they find it a really useful tool. So patients are going to their clinic appointments and are presenting the data from the app, which can show trends in their symptom burden over time, and they're being able to display that to their clinicians as a really useful tool in terms of tracking their conditions and monitoring, such as things like such as response to treatments. So yeah, both really promising so far in those respects.